in the chat. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us for another Fireside Chat with the Department of Community and Economic Development. My name is Shawnee Harris, and I am the Administrative Assistant here for the Department of Community Economic Development. Today, we'll be talking about CHODO, and I'm sure a lot of you probably don't know what CHODO is, but it is the Community Housing Development Organization. What that does is a private, non-for-profit, community-based service organization whose primary purpose is to provide and develop decent and safe, affordable housing for the community it serves. In this chat, we will have Mr. John Hawthorne, who is the Director for the Department of Community and Economic Development, and we'll also have Ms. Charlisa Fisher, who is the Community Development Manager. She's also over the CHIP program and the Home Rehab program, and she will be here to give us some insights on how to become CHODO certified. This is for any developers, general contractors, or even remodelers. The city is in desperate need for housing and decent housing. So that is why in this chat, we will talk about all those potentials that we have for the city. And later on this month, well, actually next month for the month of July, here at the department, we're going to be hosting a CHODO interest meeting. So be on the lookout for that. Welcome, Mr. John Hawthorne. He will be here to talk about it some more. And we'll go ahead and turn to Mr. John. Good morning, good afternoon, Mr. John. How are you?
Good evening, and thank you, Shawnee. And thank you all for tuning in to this month's Fireside Chat. This month's topic is how to become a community housing development organization, the acronym CHDO, and it is pronounced CHODO. This session will also let you understand, get you to understand that CHODO is the doorway to home. And this chat is intended to provide a general overview of the CHODO program in preparation for the training that will be scheduled in the July-August timeframe. As Shawnee pointed out, there will be an interest meeting scheduled in July, and we will have the training soon thereafter, as soon as we know who all plans to attend. I will share general information, and then Ms. Fisher, who's the housing program manager, will cover DCED specific information. Our goal is for you to understand how Home CHODO provides opportunities and also the requirements for becoming a CHODO, and to hopefully increase your chances for success as a developer. You should be able to answer the question, are you properly set up to be a developer? Are you choosing the right projects? Are you capable of making it happen, or the implementation, which is the key to this program? You have to be able to implement the program using the funds. And then last but not least, will you be successful in the long run? So Home funding comes to us by means of formula allocation. We receive it annually without having to apply because we are what's known as an entitlement city. And by being an entitlement city, once you're approved, you receive your annual allocation every year without applying. Congress allocates money to the Department of Housing and Urban Development for these programs, and HUD then in turn, by formula, allocates funding to each of the participating jurisdictions around the country, including the states. So that's how we receive our funds. And as I said, this session will provide a general overview of the program. And we are preparing for that in-depth training session for all nonprofits interested in becoming a partner with DCED in the construction of affordable housing in the city of Albany. For those that are interested, a document is being prepared for distribution and training, and it is intended for use by those organizations seeking to become a DCED designated CHODO and our partner. It will also enable applicants to assess the benefits of becoming a CHODO and determine whether this designation makes sense for your organization. As Ms. Fisher will cover later, applications are available both online and available for pickup here as well, but we would prefer online applications. So the CHODO designation is not a requirement for accessing home allocation funds. However, it is a prerequisite to receive funds designated specifically for CHODOs. Becoming a CHODO makes a nonprofit eligible, but does not guarantee funding. Who administers the program? The City of Albany CHODO designation and funding processes are administered through the Department of Community and Economic Development. When can you submit applications? CHODO designation applications may be submitted anytime throughout the year. DCED reserves the right to amend its CHODO policies and application process at any time. So as things change, as program information change, we will make sure that that information is provided. So what is a CHODO? As Shawnee pointed out, a CHODO is a private, nonprofit, community-based service organization whose primary purpose is to provide and develop decent, affordable housing for the community it serves. Certified CHODOs receive designation from a participating jurisdiction, which is what we are, indicating that certain home program requirements have been met and therefore are eligible for CHODO funding. The home program was authorized under Title II of the Cranston-Gonzalez National Affordable Housing Act as amended. Home provides formula grants to states and localities that communities use, often in partnership with local nonprofit groups, to fund a wide range of activities that build, buy, and or rehabilitate affordable housing for rent or home ownership, or provide direct rental assistance to low-income residents. Home funds are regulated and distributed to the participating jurisdictions by HUD. A PJ is a term, just to get you familiar with that. PJ is a term given to any state or local government that HUD has designated to administer a home program. HUD designation as a PJ occurs if a state or local government meets the funding thresholds, notifies HUD that it intends to participate in the program, and obtains approval by HUD of a consolidated plan. Consolidated plans describe community needs, resources, priorities, and proposed activities to be undertaken under certain HUD programs, including home. So why form a CHODO? Home funds are available through PJs exclusively for qualified eligible CHODO projects and operating expenses. If an organization becomes a certified CHODO, it is eligible to take advantage of the home funds set aside for CHODOs, as well as additional special assistance. Chodo set-aside funds provide equity for community-based organizations to undertake projects and to build their capacity to serve a broad range of affordable housing development. PJs are required to set aside a minimum of 15% of their home allocations for housing development activities in which qualified Chodos are the owners, developers, and/or sponsors of affordable housing in the community. The roles of a Chodo as an owner, developer, or sponsor have been codified in the home partnership rule that governs all of the home programs. Now, Chodos must have paid staff with demonstrated capacity appropriate to the Chodo's role. Staff can be full-time or part-time. The Chodo can use an independent contractor, but it does not meet the capacity requirement based on the use of volunteers, donated staff, shared staff, or board members. Staff must have experience, capacity relevant to the project, and role as an owner, developer, or sponsor. However, only during the first year, and this is subject to change, but currently only during the first year of operation as a Chodo can consultants be hired to demonstrate capacity. Chodos have to be able to increase their own capacity as they continue with the program. In order to be designated as a Chodo, the applicant must delineate the geographic area in which the nonprofit plans to develop a home eligible project. Each PJ has a specific geographic area for which they have Chodo certification responsibility. Becoming a certified Chodo does not automatically mean that the organization is entitled to any Chodo set-aside funds or Chodo operating assistance funds. It is at the discretion of the participating jurisdiction and the availability of funds. However, if a Chodo is awarded set-aside funds for a home eligible project, that Chodo must be recertified and demonstrate capacity for each project before a written agreement is fully executed. So what are Chodo set-aside eligible activities? Home Chodo set-aside funds are for use by a designated Chodo that must be the owner, developer, or sponsor of affordable housing project in the community that they serve. In owner or developer roles, Chodos must own home assisted housing in fee simple absolute or have a long-term ground lease. There are several roles the Chodo may have in the housing development process. A Chodo as an owner. A Chodo is considered an owner of a property when it holds valid legal title or has a long-term leasehold interest of considerable amount of years. What's common in the industry is a 99-year minimum. The Chodo may be an owner with one or more individuals, corporations, partnerships, or other legal entities. A Chodo can own and operate housing that it does not develop. A nonprofit that will undertake property ownership and management must demonstrate ownership management experience. While a Chodo may be sole owner and have another entity act as a developer, it also can be the owner and developer of its own project. The Chodo may own a property in partnership with either a majority or minority interest. However, the Chodo in partnership with a wholly owned for-profit or nonprofit subsidiary must be the managing general partner with effective control or decision-making authority. And a couple of other roles which we will go into in a lot more detail when we get to the interest group as well as to the training, is that a Chodo can act as a developer. And it acts as a developer when it either owns the property and develops the property or has the contractual obligation to a property owner to develop a project. Chodo as a sponsor. Chodo may be a sponsor for both home-assisted rental housing and home buyer housing. A Chodo sponsor must always own the project before and or during the development phase of the project. For home-assisted rental housing, the Chodo is considered a sponsor when it develops a project that it solely or partially owns and agrees to convey ownership to a second nonprofit organization at a predetermined time. The conveyance may occur before or during development or upon completion of the project's development. So home-assisted buyer projects is another avenue for the Chodos. And when the Chodo acts as a developer or a sponsor, it acts in similar ways. In both roles, the Chodo carries out the principal project development activities such as acquisition, financing, construction management, and assembling a capable development team to bring a project from conception to completion. However, as a developer, the Chodo need not own the property. As a sponsor, the Chodo must own the property and shift the responsibility to another nonprofit at a specified time in the development process. Chodo as a subrecipient. Chodo may play a role as a subrecipient, which undertakes all of the home eligible activities. Activities performed as a subrecipient cannot be undertaken with, nor do they count toward the 15% Chodo set aside. Being a home subrecipient is not the same as being a subrecipient in the Community Development Block Grant Program. A home subrecipient is an entity selected by the PJ to administer aspects of a home program, an entire home activity. And when the Chodo is acting in the capacity of a home subrecipient, it may not also receive home funds to develop, sponsor, or own housing funded through the subrecipient activity it is administering. Doing so constitutes a conflict of interest for the Chodo. For example, if a Chodo is distributing funds for a rental program for participating jurisdiction as a subrecipient, the Chodo may not grant itself money for rental projects it is developing. So what type of special assistance is available to Chodos? We will cover that in depth when we have the Chodo interest meeting, and then in much more detail once we get into the actual training. So that's been a lot of information to share with you as a general overview of the program. Did cover some specifics, but wanted to cover those to ensure that you understood what the opportunities are, as well as what the requirements are going to be to become a Chodo. We are definitely looking forward to developing and creating the partnerships with nonprofit affordable housing providers and developers so that we can meet one of the greatest challenges our city, our state, and our country is facing right now, which is the lack of affordable housing. So I applaud each of you that are showing an interest in partnering with us, and we look forward to growing that partnership to the benefit of the city and especially to our residents. So at this time, I will let Ms. Charlisa Fisher, who's the Housing Program Manager, talk to you specifically about DCED's Chodo certification process. Thank you, and I'll be available to answer any questions. Place them in the chat, and we will answer the questions. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Charlisa Fisher, as Mr. John Hawthorne stated, and I'm here to speak to you regarding our Chodo certification process and those items that need to be turned in order to be certified. Chodo certifications last for 1 year, and they must be renewed annually. The following items are needed for our department to certify your organization. Your legal status will need to be verified by submitting your charter, articles of organization, or your certificate of existence, which is issued by the Georgia Secretary of State. You must be a nonprofit organization, so no part of your net earnings should be to the benefit of any member, founder, contributor, or individual, and this evidence must be provided in your charter or articles of organization. You must submit your bylaws, and in your purpose, it must include that these is to the benefit of low to moderate income persons. You will need to submit a tax exemption letter from the IRS. Your organization must show the financial capability to carry out a housing development project. So you will need to submit your most recent financial audits. You will need to show evidence of staff capacity, which can include payroll reports, staffing plans, and organizational charts. You will also need to provide evidence of history serving the community where the home funds will be used. This can be evidenced by a statement that documents at least 1 year of experience in serving the community, or for new organizations, you can document that the parent organization has at least 1 year of experience in serving in that same community. There are some additional forms provided in our application to certify your board, but the board must be maintained of at least 1/3 of its governing body members for residents of low to moderate income neighborhoods or other low income community residents, or election by representatives of low income neighborhood organizations. And this can be evidenced by your charter, articles of incorporation, or your bylaws. And lastly, we will need you to submit copies of your board meeting minutes. And as Mr. Hawthorne stated, currently our certification applications can be obtained at our office, which is at 230 South Jackson Street, Suite 315, or you can get them online via our website. And if you have any questions or concerns concerning the application, you can reach us by phone at 229-483-7650. Mr. Hawthorne, would you have anything else you would like to add?
I apologize for that. I would just like to add that, again, as I stated earlier, that the need is tremendous. We have funds that have been provided to us over the years that, because we have not had the benefit of Chodo partnership recently, we have not been able to meet some of the needs that we have in our community in the area of affordable housing. So therefore, it is critically important at this stage, given the market that we're in, given the need, given the way rental rates are increasing. All of those things go to the detriment of our community when our residents don't have decent, safe, and affordable housing. So the partnerships that we would like to create with you as a Chodo will help alleviate some of those conditions we see in our communities. We have a federally designated neighborhood revitalization strategy area that we are responsible for. As I said earlier in my comments, each participating jurisdiction has a geographically designated area for which home funds are to be used. In our NARSA, or the Neighborhood Revitalization Strategy area, we have lack of affordable housing. We have housing that is older stock. And at some point, the need will exceed our ability to provide affordable housing. So before we get to that stage, we look to partner not only with the CHODOs, but with other developers that choose not to become a CHODO, but still want to provide affordable housing. And there are many other opportunities, funding opportunities available besides becoming a CHODO, but this is the primary vehicle that we have with the annual allocation of home funds that we receive from HUD in order to provide affordable housing. So if you're interested in becoming a community housing development organization, a certified community housing development organization, then please reach out to us, be on the lookout for the date for the interest meeting. And then after that interest meeting, if we provide the information that's needed for you to decide to actually apply to become a CHODO, then we look forward to working with you to get that certification so that you can work with us in order to provide affordable housing. I thank you for tuning in to this month's Fireside Chat, and we will be talking with you again soon. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. John. Thank you, Ms. Fisher. That was a wealth of information, everyone. I mean, a lot of information and good information. As you can see, the housing situation is a passion for the director here and all of our colleagues. We want to see Albany develop into that city that we know it can become. And again, just like Mr. John and Ms. Fisher stated, if you are interested in becoming a CHODO certified developer, give us a call here at the City of Albany Department of Community and Economic Development. We're located at 230 South Jackson, Suite 315. You can come on down, give us your information. We'll take your information and put that down so that when we do have the time that we will be holding this interest meeting, you'll be available, you'll be the first one on the list, or we will go ahead and send out RSVP. If you want, you can give us a call at 229-483-7650. Again, that number is 229-843-7650. That's the main number here. You can have someone take your information down, they'll give it to us, and we'll have that and we'll send it out to you once the time and date becomes available for the CHODO interest meeting. Again, thank you for joining us on this Fireside Chat. Let's all come together and build and help keep Albany beautiful. All right, thank you for joining us on this Fireside Chat. We'll see you again in July for our Fireside Chat, where we'll be talking with some community development members and some leaders within the community about what they want to see for Albany. And that will be with another community development manager, Ms. Barbara Tuck. Again, thank you, everyone, and have a good evening.